the Soviet Union. A Woohead production.
Yow!
Yeah.
Hey!
By Paige.
By Will.
And by Dustin.
Today, not many people think about the fall of the Soviet Union, but the fact of the matter is, it played a huge role in history. Many issues contributed to the chain of events that caused the Soviet Union to collapse. Some of these being religious factors, economic problems, and faults in the government. In this documentary, you'll be informed on the facts of this nation and what brought it to an abrupt ending. The Soviet Union was a very diverse nation. They had many different ethnic groups, religions, and parts of culture. The history of their religion can be found in the different leaders that have been in control of this land. From 1928 to 1939, a primarily atheist community was present in what is now present-day Russia. In this time, it wasn't illegal to believe in a god, but it was heavily frowned upon, and most people would discriminate against the people who believed in gods. After this time of discrimination against religious people until 1945, they were still considered an atheist community. They did not prosecute the people who believed in gods. Then from 1945 until its fall in 1991, they were an acceptance of all religions. Most of the people were either Christians or Muslims. Judaism also had many followers. In addition to these religions, there were also some followers of Buddhism. The two main religions of Christianity and Islam had very devoted followers. Christianity was a religion founded by Jesus Christ about 2,000 years ago. It is based on his teachings and follows the Bible. Islam was founded by Muhammad in the 7th century. This religion is based on the 5 pillars, which state what they do as a follower of this way of life. Judaism has many followers in this land. This religion was founded by Abraham and is the oldest monotheistic religion. Buddhism is a religion that was founded by Siddhartha Gautama. It has its roots based in being one with the earth. This is not as much a religion as it is a way of life.
Michael Gorbachev once said, "If not me, who? And if not now, when?"
The immediate cause of the Soviet's fall was problems in the economy. They lost the arms race, a race to see which country could have the most advanced weapons, and international competition in the West. They needed a mass number of supplies for their army. Normal citizens in Russia could not buy decent clothes or shoes because the Soviet army had to have them. This caused many citizens to buy imported goods from other countries because they were available and made with quality. This posed a problem for the Soviet Union because they had no way to balance the imports and exports because all the products were made with poor quality. One Soviet economist named Laxis said, "Gloomy backgrounds of the worsening market situation has a depressing effect on people. If the country did not have quality goods for their own citizens, let alone for other countries, then they would be bound to fail." Another issue that arose was the price of oil and its dropping. This was a problem because oil is always important in a country's economy. So if the oil's price drops, then something is sure to happen in the country's economy. Many of these economic problems can also be linked to the Soviets' poor government.
Their leader, Gorbachev, made a decision to hold back on using military forces against Eastern Europe, eroding the power of the Soviet Union during 1989 and 1990. The fall of the Berlin Wall caused demands for reforms to the Soviet government by the old Soviet bloc. Non-Russian minority groups throughout the Soviet Union were trying for as much independence as they could get. The Baltic Republicans were demanding freedom from the Soviet occupations. The tension in the Soviet Union came to a point in August 1991, when a group of military and KGB leaders planned a coup in Moscow while their leader, Gorbachev, was on vacation. While lacking organization and support by the military, the coup collapsed after just 3 days. Gorbachev was forced to reduce the power provided by the Communist Party in order to prevent further attempts to seize power. Gorbachev was unable to regain full control over the nation following the coup. The secrecy they held was the central cause of the culture of war. As time passed, the Soviet people became more cynical about the propaganda of the government-controlled media. It was well known that the Russian people believed you could find truth anywhere except the government. In the end, not one Russian citizen trusted the government's judgment, and they believed that what they said and were being told were all made up to confuse the people from the real problems. Gilles Dauvé once said, "Communism is the end of the economy as a separate and privileged field on which everything else depends, while despising and fearing it, it is used to refer to the economic power under communist parties that have the dictatorship of the social classes." I now quote Che Guevara saying, "There is no other definition of communism valid for us than that of abolition of the exploitation of man by man."
In the end, all the pressure from the government, economy, and religious diversity brought stress that was too strong for the country as a whole to overcome this challenge. All in all, the country could not pull through and crumbled in just a short amount of time. Overall, the world benefited by this sad occurrence because it opened a doorway for economic opportunities. This was a sad disaster in our history, but the country could not do anything about it. Thus, the fall of the Soviet Union occurred.